Welcome to the first coordination circle for 2024 for the Lifeboat Academy. And we are transitioning from our weekly updates to the new coordination circle process. And so just to get started, let's go. That's not what I want. So welcome, it's February 26th, and if this is your first encounter with the Lifeboat Academy, we are a model of resilience and regeneration at the person, place, and community level. And when we talk about lifeboats, what we're really talking about are personal place-based resilience networks, where you lean into the relationships you already have with your family, friends, and neighbors and colleagues to figure out how you can support each other to increase your resilience no matter what comes. And our goal is to have a fleet of lifeboats, all anchored at the Lifeboat Academy campus here on Sedaeus, South Pender Island, BC, in the Salish Sea. And how do we help each other develop our own local networks, our own local lifeboats, and stay connected so we can share what we're learning, moral support, and resources as they become available. And so it's time for us to get to work. And one of the things we normally do is we do once around the circle and give everyone a chance to talk about what aspect of the Lifeboat Academy has their attention at the moment. So we'll keep with that tradition. And actually, I guess in keeping with traditions, we should also acknowledge I am coming to you from the unceded territory of the WSÁNEĆ, who are Coast Salish people. And we always start with a land acknowledgement because for the Lifeboat Academy, we aim to center the land, knowing that the land is what connects us all. And so by centering the land, we're actually centering our interdependence and our interconnection and the possibility of growing healthy, strong relationships. And in doing so, we acknowledge our indebtedness to the indigenous cultures of the world, who have kept that knowledge alive and are willing to share with us, even those of us who have lost our Western ways. And so in acknowledging the WSÁNEĆ and all of the indigenous cultures, we also acknowledge our commitment to righting past wrongs and making sure that we, to the best of our ability, live in right relations with all of our relations, both human and more than human. And so with that, the circle as I see it today is Roland, Ronnie, Heather, and then back to me. So Roland, what has your attention today?
What has my attention today is this second step in the new iteration of the Lifeboat Academy and the beginning of sharing out with of tasks and responsibilities with a larger group of people for really lots of fun collaboration. And I've forgotten who is after me. Who's after me?
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Over to Ronnie.
Mine is similar. I'm excited that we're doing a coordination circle now. And I like that the word circle is in there. So we're very much walking our talk and doing our best to share the work, share the fun, share the commitment amongst more and more people, and really being invitational in how we involve people. So that is feeling really good. And I'm excited to see how the circle itself evolves and also how the guilds evolve over the next year. Over to Heather.
You're muted, Heather.
I've just spent the last 2 days with the National Farmers Union on a convergence where we're focusing on how do we access land. And I think that that's really to point when it comes to the Lifeboat Academy. this all is about the first step to me in securing the land itself. So I want to make sure that we're all working towards that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm starting to have fond dreams of that day when everything is signed and tickety-boo and the party we will have. So you know what has my attention right now is actually moving towards action. And I think I'm excited for the guilds. And it was the charrette and the whole planning process, sort of tying up the loose ends and posting the videos and writing up the summaries this last week. There was a lot of work that went into this and a lot of good stuff that has come out of it. And now let's do that. So I'm looking forward to action and getting things done. Let's get shit done. So with that in mind, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. And so one of our goals is to move more of the actual work. We use sociocracy as part of our organizing framework, and the spirit behind sociocracy is that we delegate responsibility from the whole to the circles where most of the action happens. And so we are in the process of getting the guilds up and running. Actually, the guilds have been up and running. We've expanded the number of guilds and we're getting them more active and taking on more independent responsibility. And so we've scheduled the regular meetings for each of the guilds for all four except four of the 5 guilds. They'll be meeting every other week at this point. All of this is provisional. We're gonna, give it a go, see how it works. And we always treat everything as an experiment. And then we'll adjust to see, it may be that some guilds will want to meet less frequently after a while, or some might want to meet more frequently or stick with the 2-week pattern. So right now, Heart Work and Philosophy is going to meet every other Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, starting this Thursday, February 29th. Principles in Governance is going to be every other Thursday at 2, the alternate one. So it will be starting next week, March 7th. Finance and Legal is going to be every other Friday at 10:30 a.m. and starting this week, this Friday. And Farm, Food, and Housing, we're holding off on that since that's going to be primarily the place-based team that's working here at Spalding Valley Farm. And so we want to make sure, we want to coordinate with people's schedules about when they're going to be coming and on site. And then Outreach and Network is going to be every other Tuesday at 2 p.m. And starting tomorrow? Okay. Starting tomorrow. I'm still having a hard time with this being the end of February. So it still seems like February just started. So the guild meetings are happening. Everyone is invited to attend the meetings. You don't have to let us know ahead of time. We have in our website and in various locations, there's the link to join the meeting. We also are still gathering people's interest in the guilds. If you want to be involved, it's interest, it's not commitment. And we've set it up so that there are different levels of engagement. From fly on the wall, you can actually say, I'm curious about what the guild is doing. I'm not really planning on attending the meetings, but I want to keep in the loop of what actions they're doing, all the way up to wanting to be a peer in the guild and roll up your sleeves and get shit done. So when we post this to YouTube, we'll include the link to express your interest on the Google form. And then the coordination circles will be happening weekly, Monday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, this current slot. And we will do the same as we always have with the updates. You're welcome to attend. Caretakers are strongly encouraged to attend. And if you can't attend for one reason or the other, we will be posting them to YouTube so you can always catch up. And this week, our focus is here on the farm. we are very excited that we are hosting the Southern Gulf Islands Community Justice Circle Keeper Training Program, which is a 3-day advanced circle keeper training hosted by Evelyn Zillerer of Peace of the Circles. It's exciting because we are hosting some guests overnight, and we are using the studio to its capacity as a teaching and learning space. So talking about hitting the ground running, we're doing what we say we're gonna do. And we also will be working to get ready for those first guild meetings. And those guild meetings will be focusing on bringing new members in the guild up to speed on how things already work, the current arrangements that we have and the available resources, as well as get to know each other, and then start to focus on really what are the next steps. So who's going to do what to get things done. And we will be hosting office hours this week. That there may be some challenges due to the training. Roland and I will both be in the training. And but to the best of our ability, we will be hosting office hours 10 o'clock to 11:30 Tuesday through Thursday. And I believe that is it for what we wanted to cover today. But we will go once around the circle, and at least once around the circle. And so comments, observations, questions, concerns. Roland, over to you.
For me, you covered it beautifully, so I have nothing to add. Over to Ron.
I just want to reiterate for folks, please don't feel intimidated to get involved with the guilds, even if you're just learning about all this for the first time. These are the first meetings for the guilds for the new season and the new year. So we're going to be starting from the beginning, letting folks know what's going on, what resources are available, who's who. So it's we're trying to be as inclusive and approachable as possible. So we really would love to see you if you have even the slightest interest. Over to Heather.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that I can add anything in the sense this is a structural meeting. I mean, meetings from here on in, we'll be looking at what the guilds bring to the circle. But since the guilds haven't all met yet, this is just us kind of putting up the framework to let that happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ditto too. And we want this to be an easy entry, and we're also setting ourselves up. We know it is just the nature of life. People come and go. People become interested, and then circumstances change, interests change. And so we are attempting, I think part of our model of resilience is making it easy for people to show up when they can, recognizing the Michael Moore quote, a choir can sustain an infinitely long note because we can all take breaks at different times.
Yeah.
And we also want to have that mutual exchange where we know, even if you don't know it, we know that you bring something of interest and value, even if you're just learning. And hopefully we can provide some support where you walk away with something of value as well. So yeah, it's all good. So I guess that's it. Any final thoughts, or are we good to go? Roland, good to go? All right. Well, we will post this recording on our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us through the multiple channels on all of the social media. Just search for Lifeboat Academy. And on an email, it's friends@lifeboat.academy. Our website is lifeboat.academy, and you can get to us through there and also see information about what's going on. So yeah, keep in touch, and we'll keep in touch with you. That's all for now. See you next week.